got Alyse Anderson back here on the program. She's going to be taking on Stephanie Alba and Invicta FC 30 coming up here on July 21st. Alyse, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and I understand you're in a hotel right now. Your family's in town. How nice is it to have them, come visit you?
It's really nice, especially I've been gone the last month, and they're coming to help me meal prep this today to help with the weight cut the last couple weeks. So,
That's awesome. Good stuff. Last time you and I talked, you were training in Michigan, and now you are in Chicago training with Felice Herrig. How did that all come together with you training with one of the best strawweights out there?
actually, I met Felice in December at UFC Detroit. We have the same manager, Sucker Punch, Brian Butler, and he was like, "Come on out to the open workout, get some training in." And I was just grappling with her coach, and she walked in, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Felice Herring!" Like, I was so starstruck, and I watched her fight, and then around February, I get a random phone call with a Chicago number, and I always get telemarketers from there, so I was like, I'm just gonna send it to voicemail, and I was like, I'll just answer it, and I answer it, and she's like, "Hey, it's Felice," and I was like, oh my gosh, and she invited me to help be one of her training partners for UFC Brooklyn when she fought Carolina, so we ended up talking on the phone for like an hour, and I was just like, dang, this girl has so much energy, and I can't wait to go out there. So I ended up going out there a couple of times during that camp, and really we just clicked. So uh, I talked to Brian and her head coach Jeff, and they were like, if you want to do a camp out here and make the move, like, we think you and Felice would be like great training partners for each other. So that's how it all started, and it's been great since.
That's awesome. That's really cool to hear. I was actually at. Remember, I saw you at UFC 218 briefly because I saw you were with Angie Jennings, right? If I remember correctly.
Uh, yep. Yeah.
At the
Oh, in
hotel
the
because I was doing
hotel.
it was
Yep.
media day for 218. I remember that. So that's
Yep. That was
interesting.
the day I met her.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's very interesting. How has the transition been? Living in Chicago, training in Chicago, being away from family. How's that all been?
It's been really good. I'm used to like doing my camps away, so it's all part of the sacrifice. I actually enjoy it more because there's no distractions. Like, I live at the gym, my dorm's at the gym. The strength and conditioning is like right down the street, and uh, I think that being like away from family like just makes me like only think about the fight. So I think that being back home when I was driving 2 hours one way to the gym, it was just too mentally exhausting. So this has been it's been awesome. I train all day, and I love it here. And Felice is one of the best in the world to get to train with. So I just feel super lucky.
That's great. We got to talk about your last fight quickly. It was a close one. It was a split decision loss at Invicta FC 25. What did you take away from that performance that you can bring into this fight?
I actually, so for the first time ever, watched that fight like a couple weeks ago because I took the loss really hard. I was kind of embarrassed, just being my first loss ever. And I honestly I don't think I lost that fight. I could see how it was close, but just like me being on top and out wrestling her, um, it just made me like know that like don't leave it to the judges, and sometimes that happens in the sport, and like I know that I just need to do like that much more to win.
Absolutely. And you got another great opponent here in Stephanie Alba. How do you feel like you match up against her?
I've known about Stephanie for a while through amateur. It's a small 105 division. We all kind of know who each other are, and um, I've wanted the fight. I've heard her interviews about me that she is pretty confident. So like that just puts the pressure on her if she wants to be cocky about this fight. So I think that I've just been, I've been training with the best in the world. I took almost a year off, like just to make improvements from my last fight because there was a lot that I think I could improve on. And, I didn't just, stop going to the gym. I got right back in there and, started back to the drawing board. So I just think overall I'm just going to be a completely different fighter, and she's not going to, have anything to compare it to from my last fights.
Yeah, and that fight was a while ago, like you mentioned, and now that you're in Chicago, what would you say you've improved on the most, or do you feel like your overall game is just going to be a lot better in this fight?
Yeah, overall, I just feel like, growing as a fighter throughout the last year and having different experiences, getting to be a part of Felice's training camp and not being in a camp and being strictly there for her, seeing, you know, like how disciplined she is, and, just learning from her, like through that whole fight camp, like just motivated me, and like the mental game of it all. I just feel I'm just like going to be on a different level coming
Awesome.
into this fight.
And how is the weight cut going? I know you're doing the meal prep stuff. How's that turning out?
It's going pretty good. I'm working with George Lockhart now,
Oh, nice.
so uh, that's awesome because it makes it a lot easier. Like instead of just guessing what I should eat, I have a strict plan, and as long as I follow that, I think that it should be a pretty easy cut to 105.
Safe to say, Felice and Jeff Kern are going to be in your corner for this fight.
Yep, Felice and Jeff and my manager will probably be in my
Oh,
corner, so
awesome.
they'll be there.
That's great. How do you see this fight playing out on July 21st?
Um, I know she's tough and she's durable, so but I just I can see it. I don't want to sound cocky, so maybe we'll have this interview again after the
For
fight.
sure. Okay,
But
fair enough. I like that. I like that. That's good. Okay.
but I'm just confident I wouldn't have taken the fight, if I didn't think I was going to win. So
Absolutely. Okay, that's good. What's next after this? We talked about the layoff between fights. Are you looking to get in there a little bit sooner next time, or do you want to just take it fight by fight?
I'm taking it fight by fight just because I know Felice is going to be in camp probably shortly after me. She doesn't like big layoffs and stuff, so like she's been so helpful to me. Like I want to be there for her, but the sooner the better as well. Like I don't want to get that cage rust, and I've been feeling more comfortable, like even sparring and stuff. I would like if the opponent's right, I'm always going to be down for to fight.
What about downtime? You mentioned you're living in the dorms in Chicago. Are you getting to see the city at all? Are you watching any Netflix or anything like that? What are you doing when you're not training?
I've not got to do anything in the city yet, but yeah, I pretty much just watch Netflix
Okay,
or
so
like
so listen. So if I logged onto your account right now and I looked under continue watching, what is it going to say? What are you watching these days?
like every murder mystery that there is. Felice and I like binge watch like Dateline, 48 Hours, like any crime mystery show,
Okay.
but like continuously over and over. I don't know why we just like are obsessed with it.
Do you watch any of the like murder documentary stuff? There's a lot of like really good ones on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen. There's that Evil Genius one where like about
Yeah,
the
that was
pizza murder.
super good.
Yeah, wasn't that good? And just so
Yeah,
like
she's so
crazy all the
crazy.
evidence they were putting together. I'm not like yeah, it's weird. I'm all into that type of genre for documentaries. I don't know why, but I find it so interesting. So
Me too. And I think I've watched them all, so I'm just waiting for new ones to come out now.
have you watched Confession Tapes?
Yep.
Yeah, wasn't that
Yeah.
crazy? Because that happened in Michigan. One of those stories. It was pretty nuts.
Yeah, some of them I was like, oh, no way, like they're
Yeah.
lying. But then the other times I was like, oh, wow, I can't believe that this goes on. It
Yeah.
was crazy.
No, it's nuts. I'll tell you what isn't crazy. This is going to be an awesome fight. It's coming up here July 21st. It's Invicta FC 30. Alyse, it's always good talking to you, and I appreciate you taking the time. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
My Instagram is Alyse Anderson 21. I don't really have like Facebook like page or anything like that. My sponsors are like George Lockhart for this camp. I just want to thank mostly like my manager Brian, because if it wasn't for like Sucker Punch and Felice and Jeff Curran and all of them coming together, I don't think I would you know feel as strong like going into this camp. But when I just like feel like even though we haven't known each other that long, we just met in UFC Detroit, them to all come together and be like, we want you to succeed. We're going to invest in you. Like, it just really feels good, that my manager set this up and that Felice has my back, and Jeff Curran, he's awesome at jiu-jitsu. So mostly just want to thank them, and, hopefully can make them proud July 21st that all their time putting into me is worth it.